Good morning, everybody. If you're joining me here, this is Agrarian Skies 2. I am Merow Haruko, and let's go ahead and get to it. We were working on a... Oh, cobble gen. Yes, lava. Great. So it says 999, but I'm I'm just going to take a wild guess here and probably say that that's actually one full bucket. Let's see. So, we have one fired clay bucket, but I think what we'll do, in the interest of not losing our ability to move it, is we're going to do one more. So these clay buckets, unfortunately, when you go to use them, um, they're great for water, but you got to use them on lava, and that's it. You get one shot. They get destroyed the moment you set the lava down. So it's good to have an extra bucket here. Oh yeah, great. So now we have one bucket of lava. And we'll get one bucket of water. Alright, so now the fun part here is we have to make ourselves a cobble gen with wood. Let's see, we'll do 10 of those. I think we'll start with that. I'm trying to think of a good place to do it here. Expand our platform out. Because the moment we go to set the lava down, there's a good risk that we're going to go ahead and light ourselves on fire here. And you may have noticed our entire platform is wood at the moment. Not exactly the most fireproof material. But luckily, we don't have to mine too much cobble, and then we can go ahead and replace the part around the lava with cobblestone. Let's see here. Okay. Let's see. Now, here's the fun part. I never remember how to make I never remember how to do this, and then I inevitably will screw it up, and then what happens is I've got one piece of obsidian. Anybody who's ever played Skyblock will tell you, oh well, most people the first time or two, they'll go to make a oh, I need one more for sure. They'll go to make their first cobblestone gen, and the whole thing will basically just what'll happen is they won't get the water flowing or something, and then they'll instead have a situation where they turn their one piece of lava into obsidian, and then you're stuck. You basically have to restart at that point. Not a fun concept, but I probably could have gotten away with the one less layer, but I'm not going to do that. So let's see, we'll do that. So what we're doing here is essentially we're going to have water here, because it's got to flow. It's got to go down the hole. We're going to put our lava here. So what's going to happen then is the flowing water is going to touch the flowing lava, and this will end up being our actual piece of cobble. And then by digging that out with our pickaxe here, we'll get an infinite supply of cobble. We got our piece of wood in the back. That's good. So let's do this. I don't care too much about the water, but since we're already kind of here, we'll just do this here. Okay, that covers the lava for the most part, and then that allows us to kind of just sit here and mine cobble. Oh, we want this to be at eye level. Let's see what happened to our slabs. Okay. There. Now this will be at eye level. Let's go grab our pickaxe. Let's get rid of these crooks for now. We're probably done with that part, actually. That wasn't too bad. I feel like I've spent way more time in the that part of the skyblock before, but let's see. Yeah, pardon me if I get a little distracted easily. I'm trying to kind of figure out reading pick up tiers. Oh, good. This thing is repairable with tiers, which we'll have a lot here. So then Here's our water. I feel like I should get another bucket for this lava. Here's our lava. Ah, great. Good. That's a good sign. Now, as long as nothing breaks here, we're in business. Now, this is not the most efficient way of getting cobble, by far. There are automated ways of getting cobble that are accessible pretty early. In fact, I think the quest chain even wants us... Oh, I probably should have checked that. See if we had anything to turn in here. Let's see, we got that. Oh, it wants the porcelain clay. Yeah, we've gotten a little away from the quest chain here because of our crucible. If I'd kept that, we would have been in good standing. Alright, well, I'm going to go ahead and mine some cobble, and I'm going to come back when I have a sizable amount here, because there's just a lot we need to do. So, sizable amount being like, I don't know, 4 stacks. That's good enough to get started here. So, we'll see you guys in a bit. Oh, sorry, just repairing my pickaxe. Alright, back to work. Okay, so I did some cobble jacking here, and first thing I did is replace all this with cobble, built out the platform to get back here, left my piece of wood in so that when I go to hit this, it doesn't break the wood. I can just sit here and hold the left click button and it's just going to mine. My pickaxe actually leveled a bit. I got luck, which I believe increases the yield on whatever you're mining. Not super great in Skyblock here because there really isn't anything to mine as far as ores. Later on we'll get a fortune. No, I don't want to use that yet. Later on we'll get fortune on a hammer. That'll help a bunch. So speaking of which, here is probably the last part of our grinding here. And that's going to be, we have to convert all of this cobble into gravel, sand, and dust to get the materials that we're going to need to move on. So gravel. Let's see, this, I think it's mainly how we're going to get our diamonds. Diamonds, emerald, lapis, apatite, coal. It's going to give us the silver, nickel, aluminum, copper. Let's see, now, if I could spell. Sand is going to give us wow, a lot of stuff. Sand is going to give us charred Certus. This is for our AE system. That's later on. Yellorium, that's for big reactors. That's a really good mod for generating power. Amber, Quicksilver, that's Thaumcraft. A bunch of the same ores, but they're crushed this time. Cocoa beans, cactus, ancient spores, exotic seed, and subsequently dust. Where's, here we go. I'll try going backwards. There we go. This is going to give us blaze and redstone. That's kind of the big one right now. We need a lot of redstone. There is a way of automating it or automating cobblestone grinding here that is kind of recommended to the quest chain. We're going to skip all that for now, and we're going to go with this. This is called a transfer node. Now, we have a couple ways of doing this. We could save ourselves some redstone and go ahead and work on getting an ender pearl. And believe it or not, that's not actually that difficult. It just takes a bunch of cobble to make a kind of a ghetto mob spawner, and then the enderman will just kind of pop up. It's actually not too bad. That being said, we could just work on getting the redstone. This itself, we're going to do a transfer pipe. So, transfer node, transfer pipe. Great. This is just 2 pieces of glass, some stone slabs, redstone. Not too bad. So this is just mostly redstone intensive. And then we're going to need something called a world interaction upgrade. That'll allow it to interact with the stone. That's lapis and iron. The iron's not too bad. This is just iron and 6. We'll kind of get that much iron just by grinding for the redstone pretty much. The lapis, however, is going to be a stack or 2, I suspect, of the gravel. So we may do that first, and then we'll just switch to dust the moment we have our lapis. And then we'll also need a barrel. Now, the reason I say a barrel, not these ex nihilo barrels, but a Java barrel. They're designed to hold one thing. They can only hold one thing, but they will hold a lot of it. One barrel by itself will hold 64 stacks. After that, you've got to use a combination of structurals and storage upgrades. So what happens is it starts out with 0 slots. You use your structural. This is the level 1. You have to do them in order. And this provides it with 1 slot, and then you can put 1 upgrade. Slots used 1. This is going to provide it with 3. You could use a 3 upgrade. This is going to provide it with 7, which means 2 3s and a 1. So on and so forth until you get to these. This is going to provide it with 1023. This is end game though. Man of Steel, Manolin, yeah, that's definitely end game. Let's see, Thaumium, Endurium, oh, that's expensive. Flux Electrum, regular Electrum, that's not too bad, that's fairly early. Invar is definitely early. Gold, iron, and wood. So it's not too bad to put to get a couple fences. That's just sticks and planks, and then throw on a structural here. Just another barrel, and then some pistons. Like I said, pistons seem to get used for just a ton of stuff right away, like machine-wise. So I always want to have a stack of those. The barrel itself, chest, a slab, and then wood. So the first thing is I'll have that chest. This is 7 wood, a slab, and then we'll have to get, hopefully that was enough. We'll just do 1 chest here, chest in the middle, slab on top, and wood. Great, so we have a barrel. This was going to be sticks because in order to do this, if you remember earlier, we had a wooden hammer. The wooden hammer is essentially ineffective for this. We want to get a stone hammer here. It's just 2 sticks, some cobble. Great. We have plenty of stone hammers. We're just going to equip the stone hammer here in our first slot. We'll throw these back in our inventory actually. Get a couple hammers down here. Put our cobble. Let's get all this. And throw our barrel back in here. So inevitably when I fall to my death, it won't be an issue. So I did mention that my method of doing this part is kind of dangerous. I like to just do this. I like to stack really, really high. As long as you don't move, you're fine. And what'll happen here is I'll just kind of get up high in the air. I like to do at least 1 stack, usually 2. What a pretty little skyblock. It's going to get a lot smaller. Yeah, I'll have to tear that other stuff down here soon. I like to get two stacks high in the air and then go all the way to the bottom. That'll turn cobble into gravel, and then if I need to convert it, it's a lot faster to go gravel to sand, sand to dust. It takes the most time to do the cobble to gravel simply because it just... let's see, what level am I? You may have noticed there's some numbers up here that tells me how high. I'm at 137, 138, 140. 2 stacks is 128 from wherever I was. I'm not sure where I was here. Yeah, here we go. I can't even see the skyblock anywhere. If I were to fall right now, that'd be it. I think you can fall from 20 spaces or so and live. We're up almost 125. Okay, so just so I don't want to set any more down. Now we're going to take our hammer, hold left click, and we're just going to go straight down. I'm going to go ahead and work on getting everything to gravel first so we can go ahead and grind out that lopus. Now the concept there is we're going to start at the top. Lopus only comes from gravel. We can always change gravel into sand or dust to get our redstone. And that's kind of the limiting factor here, is to get that redstone. So I'm going to be back when we have 4 stacks of gravel, and then we'll go ahead and do the next part. Okay, so we have our 4 stacks or so of gravel, approximately. We end up using a little under 2 hammers. This next part is we're just going to be grinding out the resources. So what's going to happen here is we go to our sieve with our gravel. I think I should have some bread here. Oh great, bread. Yeah, I had to stop and actually get some bread because that's pretty food intensive doing that. So now, and we are going to be automating both the the cobble process, the hammer process, and the sieving process, because it's just too much. We can't sit here all day and try and get these resources. So I'm just holding the right click button. As I go along here, I'm going to generate resources. I'm already generating some here. They have percentage drops, of course, diamonds being the rarest, and I think Lopez is pretty rare too. The objective here is we're going to use enough gravel, I'm pretty sure it's going to be under 4 stacks, to get our 4 Lopez needed for our world interaction upgrade, because I really don't want to have to grind for any more cobble. The hammering, I'm probably going to have to do another 4 or 5 stacks of cobble to get what I need to move on, but for now, I just, if I can eliminate one step in our automated process here, that'd be great. So I'm just gonna go ahead and grind, and I'll be back. Alright, that took way less time than I thought. I went ahead and put the Lopez on the hotbar here, and I used less than a stack of gravel. Actually, I had some pretty good yields. I got a diamond and a couple emeralds here. Let's throw all of this, our bees, I totally forgot about those. Throw all of this in this chest here. We'll deal with that in a bit. Let's see. And the next step is to convert the rest of this to dust. There really isn't anything more we need from the gravel at this time. We'll have to automate gravel, sand, and dust later on to get the resources we need. So now we're going to go ahead and convert this into sand. Now this goes a lot faster than doing the gravel. So I'll show you here how fast that goes. And we can kind of get an approximate idea of how many hammers we're going to use total. I think for every 2 stacks of the material you end up using probably a hammer, maybe a hammer and a half. So I used probably a little less than 2 hammers to do this. Let's see, we'll just do these 2 partial stacks here. Man, this takes a lot of food. Okay. Yeah, this goes a lot faster to convert it to sand. Now then, of course, I'm going to convert all the sand, build it all up again, and then convert it to dust. So when I have all of my dust, then we'll be ready to go. So I'll see you guys then. Okay, went ahead and grinded for the dust here. That was pretty food intensive, so I went ahead and got myself some more food. Ooh, bread. Not like I haven't had that every day for the past, I don't know, I can't actually count. So now we're going to go ahead and work on getting redstone here. Again, this is just sieving the dust until we reach the point where we've got the redstone. This could probably take a while. Let's see how long it takes us to get our first. Oh, there's redstone. Great. Actually, we were quite fortunate with the gravel, and we got ourselves a couple emeralds, a diamond, along with our lapis there. So I think this is a great place to cut it. I'm going to go ahead and cut it, and I'll work on getting the materials for next time. The grindiest part of this pack here is almost over. There's some other stuff that kind of gets a little grindy, but it's not that bad. And I think that most of it's pretty straightforward as far as what it expects you to do, and you can kind of break that up by doing, if you're like the seed leveling, that's going to be a bit of a process, and that's one of those things that you really don't want to binge do it. You'll just kind of get yourself burnt out. But then later on, there's ways of automating everything. We can automate this process entirely. We can automate farming. In fact, something I want to do is I want to get the cute little Thaumcraft golems and put little top hats on them, and they're just adorable. And they'll be fancy little golems, and they'll do all my farming, and they're not slaves. I paid them a meager wage. They have vacation days. Don't worry. Health plan's all right. It's affordable, but we're working on that. That's just going to take some time. We're in litigation right now for that. But all right, thanks for joining me. This is Merow Haruko, and have a good day.